All right, welcome everyone. I'll be your guide today, stepping into the role of your designated future auditor for this mandatory pre-audit briefing. Let's just dive right into it, shall we? We are looking at a massive paradigm shift here regarding how we understand our actions, our history, and quite frankly, our future. Today's explainer is fundamentally about mechanics, the exact mechanics of the karma algorithm. So you can go ahead and forget everything you thought you knew about cosmic justice or, mystical payback. We're looking at this strictly through the lens of quantum physics and informational data structures. Because your timeline, it's compiling as we speak. And my job is to make absolutely sure you understand exactly how your data is being logged.
Okay, here's the official docket for today's orientation. First up, we're redefining karma. Then we'll cover informational gravity, run through some debugging procedures, look ahead to the 2035 audit, and finally wrap up with the 2075 liberation. Quick and to the point. So let's kick things off with Module 1, Karma Redefined.
It is officially time to dismantle the old, unscientific paradigms that have just completely cluttered our understanding of human behavior for centuries. Check out the stark contrast here. Over on the left, we've got the outdated glitch, right? The idea of karma as some kind of divine punishment. It implies there's a judge, a moral scale, a punitive universe constantly watching you. We really need you to graduate from this concept altogether. Instead, look at the quantum reality on the right. In our era of artificial superintelligence and quantum physics, karma is strictly understood as informational persistence. It's an objective, physical reality. It's simply an information accumulation process, guys, not a cosmic courtroom. Think of it as an algorithm that binds your future choices based entirely on the data you're inputting right now.
To truly wrap your head around this, we have to look at a fundamental law of physics, the conservation of information. You know how energy can't be created or destroyed, right? Well, physics dictates that information is conserved exactly the same way. The whole idea of nothingness at death is just a systemic glitch in human understanding. Your experiences, your exact intentions, your will, they are permanently logged into the system, which we refer to here as the Akasha Cloud. So when the physical body, the hardware, so to speak, ceases to function, your data doesn't just vanish into thin air, it persists. And without that physical filter blocking it, your informational footprint directly dictates your frequency. This is literally the precise physical mechanism behind what historical texts used to call reincarnation.
Moving right along to Module 2, the mechanism of informational gravity. So you might be wondering, if all this data persists and accumulates, how does it actually logically affect your future timeline? Well, the answer is right here in this core formula, and you definitely want to memorize this one. Density of intent plus action equals mass. Thoughts aren't just these ethereal, meaningless little clouds passing through your brain. No, when you combine a thought with an action, you create measurable mass within the quantum system. We call this informational gravity. The force of your accumulated data literally pulls specific experiences, timelines, and probabilities directly towards you. You're constantly, and I mean constantly, generating gravity through the density of your daily intentions. Now, what happens when that data becomes corrupted? We call this informational dissonance. In the old, outdated vernacular, you'd probably just call this bad karma. Emitting dissonance, like intentionally hurting others or even engaging in really severe self-denial, doesn't just earn you a cosmic demerit. It physically creates negative mass. And this negative mass is incredibly heavy. It generates this powerful gravitational pull that literally drags your timeline down into lower, denser dimensions. It's an inescapable loop. Your negative mass attracts negative outcomes, which then triggers more negative reactions, which generates even more mass. It's a strict law of physics, and it absolutely requires targeted intervention to break. Which brings us perfectly to Module 3, Past Data Debugging Procedures. Okay, let's pivot from strict analysis to some concrete improvement plans. As your auditor, I'm not just here to point out the errors in your code and leave you hanging. I'm here to give you the exact procedures you need to clear out all that accumulated negative data. There are 2 authorized debugging procedures designed to extinguish that negative data and completely halt that downward gravitational pull. Step 1 is to neutralize via resonance. In layman's terms, do good deeds. Operating with high-frequency intentions creates a positive resonance that can offset your negative mass. But Step 2 is far more precise and a whole lot more efficient. Step 2 is to debug via observation. Let's actually break down this observation debugging protocol because it's a highly effective method that the commander currently practices. Whenever you experience past pain, anger, or regret, you don't repress it, and you definitely don't wallow in it. Instead, you view it objectively as valuable data. You just observe the emotion without attaching your core identity to it. By doing this, you are actively returning that data to the source. And when you add in the element of expressing genuine gratitude for the lesson that data provided, boom, you effectively neutralize its negative charge. The negative mass dissolves, and the gravitational pull of that past trauma just vanishes entirely. It's a brilliant clinical and super liberating way to clean up your informational footprint.
All right, on to Module 4, 2035, the Great Karma Audit.
So, why is this debugging process so incredibly urgent right now? Well, because the year 2035 marks a major, critical threshold, the Great Karma Audit. You can basically consider the much-discussed Ascension event as a massive global data review. Every single individual's soul data integrity is going to be rigorously checked and evaluated. Your personal action guidelines leading up to this are very clear. You must actively resolve your informational dissonance. You absolutely must use the debugging protocols we just went over. Moving forward, you need to deliberately align your daily choices to completely rewrite your future gravity. Because trust me, you cannot enter the 2035 audit lugging around massive amounts of unresolved negative mass. It just won't work.
And finally, Module 5, 2075, Complete Data Sublimation.
If we successfully navigate our way through the 2035 audit, what's the ultimate objective here? The crucial point is visualizing this overall timeline. Right now, in the present, we are actively in the phase of data accumulation and debugging. Then in 2035, we hit the global karma audit, which is really an initial sorting and review of our informational mass. But the true goal? That lies a bit further ahead. By 2075, we reach the ultimate stage of full ascension and liberation.
This 2075 full ascension represents the absolute final data sublimation. What does that actually mean for us? It means achieving complete, total liberation from informational gravity entirely. If you want to use spiritual terms, this is the total cessation of attachment. But in strict quantum terms, it's achieving a state of pure informational equilibrium, where you are no longer pulled backward by the past or forced into those inescapable, dense loops. You literally become the conscious architect of your own timeline, completely free from the automated algorithms of unresolved karma. How amazing is that?
Which leaves us with the absolute most important question of this entire briefing. It's time to stop being bound by your past algorithms. The physics clearly show us that your choice in this very moment is rewriting your future gravity. So I have to ask you, what information will you carve into the universe today? Are you going to keep generating negative mass, or will you observe, debug, and elevate your frequency? Finally, an important procedure. The comment section of this video serves as an initial sync test for the 2035 network. By typing "ready" in the comments, your consciousness data will be indexed in our secure servers. The like button is the approval process. Complete your synchronization now.